Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out my channel, and today I'm going to go over quite a few products that are necessities for somebody that's running a small engine business. So the first item we're going to show you is this lift. Now this lift is from Direct Lift. I'm going to include the link down below for all these items. Basically what you're going to get is this center section here and the wheel vise here. I'm also going to include links for these outside panels. And what those do is they remove. You can turn them upside down and use them as trays, or you can leave them like this. Of course, you're going to get this ramp with the centerpiece, but you also get the ramp extensions with the side pieces, which makes it really nice for riding lawnmowers, which I do a lot of work on. This will also lift golf carts. It'll lift, of course, motorcycles. I mean, it'll lift a full dress Harley. I use this for mopeds and motorcycles. I've had this for a long time, and I'll tell you how it started was I worked in a shop that we serviced a lot of equipment, and I never worked with a table lift before. And once I got in there and I used this for about 2 years, I swore I'd never go back. Once I got back into my garage and I was doing a lot of work in my garage, I decided at that point I wanted to get a lift table because I really couldn't stand working on the ground anymore. So let me show you what's going on here. You've got a pedal and you've got a cylinder that's underneath that this hose is hooked to. The air hose from my compressor is hooked to the pedal. You can leave that disconnected once the table's up and locked in place. I know that if you're working on a lot of equipment, you can leave the table with the lock off, but it's really not a good idea. I mean, it's definitely a safety issue because the only thing holding it up is air pressure at that point. And that cylinder could lose a seal, and it could do it rapidly. Now, the thing you have to watch with your air compressor, you don't want to put any more than 100 pounds. As a matter of fact, I think it's rated at 90 pounds. The cylinder is. Whenever I'm putting this table up, I make sure that it's limited time that it sees the complete amount of air that my compressor could supply. If you're in an environment that you're having equipment go on and off all the time, and you want to try to support it with air only, you can do it. But you want to make sure that you turn down your compressor to where it's not anything real crazy. It's just not highly recommended if you're going to be on the table with the product for any period of time. So let me show you how this thing works. All right, so you can see under here there's graduated pieces of metal to make it to where you can lock it in at different heights. Here's the cylinder that does all the lifting. This is a stationary type leg, and then on the other end is wheels, and those wheels will roll as this is going up and down. Now the nice thing about those wheels is once this table's all the way down, you can get a little dolly, which in my case came with this lift, and it hooks to the end and allows you to roll the lift around and move it to wherever you need to. So let's go ahead and show you how this works. Here's the pedal. Of course the air compressor is hooked into it, and then you just push it up. It fills the cylinder. You hear the air going in the cylinder. Once that's up, you can push that up. It will stay in place with a clearance fit. It's just a tab that it locks into. And then you go ahead and lower it. All the air is coming out of that cylinder. That cylinder does use quite a bit of air. I have a 20-gallon compressor, and it will only go up and down a few times before I have to make sure that compressor, that compressor will kick on again. So now in the down position, you can see that it's not very high. It's not bad to walk around. I use this as a workbench also. I have cardboard on here. It's a diamond plate design, but I have cardboard on here for a couple of reasons. One, to protect the surface to some extent. This will scratch and eventually get some marring on it to where it could rust, because I do have some moisture out in this garage because we do park a car on the other side. And also to allow to where if I drop any small screws or anything, they don't fall into the cracks that are in between the two plates, the side plates and the main part in the center. Also, if I'm dripping any fluids of any kind, the cardboard has a tendency to soak it up. Also, you can see I've written stuff down here every once in a while. I'm testing things, and I'll write down a little note, and it's paper there. So this is probably a good idea if you have it. The wheel vise in the front does a really good job, and it's really easy to adjust. You just turn the handle, and it'll move in and out. Now there's some rubber pads on the vise. I went ahead and put some roll bar padding on there to give it even more buffer, because working with mopeds, they're kind of small, skinny tires. It just makes it to where it'll grab it a little bit sooner, and it's softer too. So let's go ahead and put it back up. You'll see how fast it goes back up. And again, once it's in its full position, go ahead and drop this down. Now, if you want, you could drop this to different levels for what you're working on. But I find that if I'm working on a riding mower, that's just perfect height right there. So there you go. Nice lift. I couldn't handle any repairs without it anymore. The nice thing about it is, in conjunction with that crane, which I'm going to do a review on that also, I can really do a lot of work on mowers. I can lift them up. I can pull transaxles out while it's up on here. I can get to everything. I can lay underneath of them. I can actually lay on the table and get up in what I need to. It's just really nice to have. And it's not that expensive considering what a lift goes for and the process that's required to put it in ground. Even the above ground lifts that are used for cars and that really don't do what this does. This has a niche market, and that is for ATV repair, motorcycle repair, golf cart repair, riding lawnmower repair. I use this for all kinds of equipment, shredders, snow blowers, of course mopeds, and I really like having it at the height that it is. All the dimensions will be listed, again, the link down below. If it's something that you think you might like, I suggest you buy it. If you're really serious about the business that you're doing, this is the way to go. Well, I appreciate you watching my videos as always. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.